Michael Joseph Jackson was born in Gary, Indiana, on August 29, 1958. He was the eighth of 10 children in the Jackson family, a working-class African-American family living in a two-bedroom house on 2300 Jackson Street. Michael's music career began at the age of 5 when he started performing with his brothers in the Jackson 5. They were later signed to Motown in 1968, and Michael quickly emerged as the main draw and lead singer of the group. The Jackson 5 became a huge success and started topping charts worldwide. They were the first act to have their first 4 singles reach #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Michael went on to release 4 solo studio albums as part of the Jackson 5 franchise. In 1972 he scored his first #1 hit single as a solo artist with Ben. The Jackson 5 left Motown in 1975, signing with Epic Records and renaming themselves the Jacksons. The Jacksons continued to tour internationally and released 6 more albums between 1976 and 1984. Michael met Quincy Jones while he starred in the 1978 film The Wiz, an African-American remake of The Wizard of Oz. Jones was instrumental in launching Michael's solo career, producing 3 of Michael's next solo albums. In 1979 Michael released Off the Wall, which sold over 20 million copies worldwide and had mega hits like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Rock With You. This album helped push Michael into the spotlight of the music industry and solidify him as a solo artist. In 1982 Michael released Thriller, which sold over 70 million copies worldwide, making it the best-selling album of all time. It catapulted Michael into superstardom and changed the music industry like no other album to date. In 1984 he won a record-breaking 8 Grammys for the album. In 1983 Michael reunited with his brothers on a live television performance on the show, Motown 25. Yesterday, Today, Forever. He debuted his now trademark dance move, the moonwalk, on that same special during a solo performance of Billie Jean. On January 27, 1984, Michael and his brothers were filming a commercial for Pepsi-Cola when pyrotechnics accidentally set Michael's hair on fire, causing second-degree burns to his scalp. He was treated at the Brotman Memorial Hospital and later donated $1.5 million to establish the Michael Jackson Burn Center. In 1985 Michael teamed up with Lionel Richie to co-write We Are the World, which raised money for African famine relief. It became one of the best-selling singles of all time. That same year Michael finalized the purchase of ATV Music for $47.5 million, which held the copyright to around 4,000 songs, including many songs recorded by the Beatles. In 1986 Michael was diagnosed with vitiligo and lupus, and the lightening of his skin gained massive media coverage. It was also speculated that he had undergone various plastic surgery procedures on his face, though he strictly denied this. In 1987 Michael released the Bad album, which sold over 45 million copies worldwide. The Bad tour was recognized as the largest grossing tour in history and the tour with the largest attended audience. He was awarded as the Artist of the Decade in 1990 and was even dubbed the King of Pop. In 1991 Michael would release his next album Dangerous, another massive success selling over 32 million copies worldwide, while the Dangerous tour grossed over $100 million. In 1992 Michael founded the Heal the World Foundation, which sent millions of dollars around the globe to help children threatened by war, poverty, and disease. Michael also drew public attention to the controversial topic of HIV/AIDS research and fundraising. In 1993 Michael was accused of child sexual abuse by a 13-year-old boy. The case was settled out of court with a payment of $22 million to the Chandler family. Michael denied the allegations, admitting no wrongdoing. In 1994 Michael married Lisa Marie Presley, the daughter of Elvis Presley. They later divorced in 1996. In 1995, Michael would release History Past, Present, and Future, Book 1, which sold over 20 million copies worldwide, making it the best-selling multiple-disc album of all time. The History Tour grossed over $165 million. Following his failed marriage to Lisa Marie Presley, he married Debbie Rowe in 1996, with who he had 2 children, Michael Joseph Prince Jackson Jr. and Paris Michael Catherine Jackson. They later divorced in 1999. In 1997, Michael released Blood on the Dance Floor. History in the Mix, which sold over 6 million copies worldwide, making it the best-selling remix album of all time. In 2001, Michael released his final studio album Invincible on Epic Records, following his dispute with former label Sony. It sold 8 million copies worldwide. In 2002, Michael had his 3rd child, Prince Michael Jackson II, also known as Blanket, via an anonymous surrogate mother. In 2003, Michael was accused of child molestation for the 2nd time. He was charged with 10 counts and was put on criminal trial. On June 13, 2005, he was acquitted on all counts. In 2009, Michael announced a series of comeback concerts in London, called This Is It. The shows were to run from July 13, 2009 to March 6, 2010. Michael began rehearsing in Los Angeles. On June 25, 2009, less than 3 weeks before the first This Is It show was due to begin in London, with all concerts sold out, Michael died from cardiac arrest caused by a propofol and benzodiazepine overdose. He was 50 years old.